Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft season was a fun one here on the channel, and new Ixalan draft content has unfortunately come to an end, but that doesn't have to mean that LCI limited content has to end as well. Over the course of this format, I ended up doing 19 total drafts, far fewer than normal, and earning a 7-win trophy in 7 of those drafts, putting my trophy rate at a whopping 37% to go along with my 63% game win rate over the life of the format. So it is now time to close out the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, as I like to do here on the channel, with a little top 8 of my best drafted decks over the course of the entire format. I have included all 7 trophy decks, plus an additional deck that went 6 and 3 to battle it out in a single elimination best of 3 top 8 tournament, and after 7 videos over the course of the next 7 days, we will be able to crown what was my best drafted deck in Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Now, to help me with this tournament, I've enlisted the assistance of longtime viewer and patron of the channel, Fred, to act as my opponent for each of these 7 matches. And today we will close out the semifinals with me playing Blue Blacklazotz, which took down Rakdos Descend in our 4th and final quarterfinal match. The deck gets its name from a singular copy of what might be the best card in the entire set, Blacklazotz's Deepest Betrayal. The rest of this deck is honestly quite underwhelming and very low in power level, but it's designed to stall the game until Blacklazotz can take over and win the game all by himself. Fred will be piloting Azorius Control, which was victorious over the Grim Captain in quarterfinals 3. This deck operated as advertised, using control elements like Petrify, Cosmium Blast, and Quicksand Whirlpool to deal with the opponent's threats, while usually closing out the game with a crafted Master's Guide Mural or one of its 3 copies of Ultec Cloud Guard. Drop a comment down below to let me know which deck you think will come out on top, and I'll see you in the match. Okay, here we are in Semifinals 2. We do get to play first, so we're going to go ahead and keep this hand. And yeah, Compass Gnome is going to go a long way in helping us find our black source here. So let's start with a cave and go from here. Nothing but blue decks left in the tournament. Oaken Siren means next turn I can attack Charter Course and Compass Gnome, which would be pretty good. Now do I even need to Compass Gnome? I can get my red source, which wouldn't be too bad for me. So let's do this here. Block. And I'll do it before I cast Charter Course, so I guarantee to draw that. And then draw 2. And now we've got nothing. So that happened quickly. Alright, Adaptive Gem Guard, the one time it doesn't immediately become a 4/4 here. And now we need to find basically anything. Blacklazotz would be a heck of a draw. Did not see Blacklazotz at all in the semifinal round. But maybe he'll show his face here. Or sorry, in the quarterfinal round. But here we are in the semifinal, seeing if he can find his way. Tithing Blade. I mean, Yeah. I guess that's what we're doing here. Probably getting rid of the Oaken Siren, and then we attack with both. What does this craft with again? A creature? Okay. Next turn, I don't think I'm gonna sacrifice the cave, because that puts me an extra turn away from the Brine Fang here. I guess it also depends on what I draw, but probably not. I guess I could chump the Gem Guard and then craft this next turn, because gosh, this is already a 6/6. I go to 9, and then I have to deal with it next turn too? I don't like it, but here we are. Gosh, this Gem Guard has just been such an overperformer, both in this end of season tournament and throughout the entire format. It's just... it continues to grow and become just a huge problem. I mean, I'm just chumping Gem Guard again here. I play Brine Fang next turn, I still can't block the Gem Guard. Gosh, these blue-white decks, they just have so many threats. Like, if I deal with this, then I have to deal with a 3/2 flyer. If I deal with that, I have to deal with a 6/6 that taps my things down. If I deal with that, I have to deal with an Anthem effect. Like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so now we take minimum 11, 12, 13, so we have to chump Gem Guard here with a 6/7. No, okay, I guess we don't technically have to now. Must have something better he wants to do. Okay, make a 6/6. Haha, I go to 3. More lands. What's new? Yeah. Alright, so couldn't quite beat the blue-white deck in the first round here. Gem Guard is a problem, but we are playing best of 3 as we have in the rest of the tournament here to even out some mana feel-bads and just make it a little bit tighter of a match. So let's go ahead and keep this here and hope that Blacklazotz shows his face at some point for this deck. Deconstruction Hammer, 2/2 Vigilance, eh? Alright. Ah, there we go. That's not too bad here. It's not the most mana efficient thing, but it does get rid of that and doesn't let him explore onto anything. Staunch Crewmate, a good card in blue-white artifact decks. No, not that again. Can't deal with the dang Gem Guard. Oh, hello there. Nice to see you. I'm gonna do this and probably sacrifice the freebooter after attack or after blocking. I can block sack with it. And then next turn, we hope he doesn't have an answer to Blacklazotz. What do we get? A non-land, a River Herald Scout. Okay. Here we go. Gem Guard to the rescue. And, you know, I actually think I'm still just gonna do this. Yeah, that seems good. Alright, we got lots of stuff going here, but this is the best card in the deck, so we're just gonna play it. And, hope it survives. Although, if it doesn't, we do have a couple of answers here that we can actually... Oh. Brutal. That's one of the best ways to deal with this card here. Can we deal with Petrify in any way? I'm not sure we can. So what we can do is we can sacrifice Blacklazotz to the Acolyte here and get it back with another chance, but gosh, that takes very long to do. So maybe if we play this and then play Needle tapping down the Gem Guard here, that'll let us do that next turn. We do have a treasure, so let's do this. See if we find a land. A braid. Wow. Well, now I need the treasure. I have to keep that. And I can't use Needle now. That was the only card that I could have seen on top that would have not made me use this treasure. Okay. Take 7? 6, depending what if he chooses to tap it one more time here. Okay, take 7. Next turn I am abrading and another chancing here. It's about all I can do. Yeah, so I abrade the Gem Guard, and I cast another chance after I have sacrificed the Acolyte here. Or the Blacklazotz himself. Oh no! It goes to the graveyard. Or, I mean, it goes as a land. It does not, in fact, go to the graveyard. So that was not the greatest move by me. But we do still have Lodestone Needle here that we can now use to tap this thing down, so let's do that now. Okay. Might be back in this here. Depends on what he's drawn and what's in the hand here. Could just craft the iceberg. Okay. What do I have? I have 7 mana, so I can Roaming Throne and Zoetic Glyph something here. And then pass, because now I have to try to block this Iceberg Titan one way or another. A land actually wouldn't be a horrible draw, because then I can activate this to turn it back into Blacklazotz here. But if I don't draw a land, I could still play that as long as I've got enough mana to still do this. I do have to double block here, I'm pretty sure, and really hope that there's no instant speed. Ah, there is. The hammer. I can't double block then. Because the hammer can blow me out there by killing the Roaming Throne, or the Tithing Blade for that matter. It's a close one here. Oh my gosh, so many artifacts. Okay, pass it back. Huh. So I can play Nautilus and flip Blacklazotz here. That's probably the best thing to do. I could play another chance, get back Snail, and get his last cards. And play Nautilus. But I think the way we get out of this game is having an Blacklazotz on the board. So I think I'm just going to take this line. Both of them they're difficult to decide exactly which line to take. Whether or not I flip this. Or if I get back the Snail and play it twice. But now he probably attacks with Titan again. Taps down Blacklazotz, and then I have to chump because any double block gets blown out by the hammer here. Oof. Well, that's horrible for me. I guess he's calculated he has lethal here. How does that work? So he taps this down, attacks with everything. I block and chump and take 3. Right? Yeah. Or even tap that down, chump, block, take 3. So do I have to sacrifice Blacklazotz here again? Just to live? That's my only way I live, is to sacrifice Blacklazotz. No, I can sacrifice the Lodestone Needle. Okay. So I guess I'm not officially dead. He might have miscalculated the fact that I could have sacrificed the needle, because he did have me dead. But the needle was the tricky part there. Could still go for it, but then the hammer, but then the crewmate dies. I chump and I go to 1. Still a problem with this stupid Titan. Alright, well, let's get in there with Blacklazotz. Go to blockers, go up to 8 now, and then see what we find here. Some pretty bad cards, that's what we find. Do get the last card out of his hand, though. Oh, had the Cosmium Blast to deal with the Blacklazotz at some point. But did get it out of the hand. So now, will Blacklazotz come back to take over the game? Or is it too little too late here? Okay, Glorifier is probably okay. Probably needs to move the hammer over to the Cloud Guard so it can block this as well. Oh, that works too. Yeah? Okay. Am I dead now? Okay. So I take 4, chump, block, take 2. I guess I'm still not dead here. I'm pretty darn close to it, though. I do have the brackish blunder now, though. That does help. Am I alive on board? So I can chump that, block, and block. So yes, I am alive. Oh, corpses. Does that do anything for me? Probably. Ooh, really close game here in game 2. Have we flipped the tides of battle in our favor? Ooh, no attacks. That's always good news. So we're going to have to trade this off here. Do I even want to play this? Honestly, no. I'd rather just play Brine Fang, probably. So let's just do this. Trade for Cloud Guard. And then just play a 6/7 and now we're not doing too horrible. Okay, got a flyer. That's okay though. We got a 1/2 flyer. Alright. Looks like we might have had, if not exact lethal, pretty darn close to lethal. So going to game 3, he knew we also had the skeleton in hand, so we fought our way back there. It was a really, really tight match. But let's see if we can get it in game 3. Blue-white control going up against blue Blacklazotz. Speaking of the namesake of the deck. Compass Gnome guaranteeing a black land. I don't need to do that at this exact moment, though, because I could just do that like on turn 4 and double spell with the Mephitic Draft, and if I don't find a second black source. And if I do find a second black source, I don't need to use Compass Gnome at all. What do we hit there? The plains that he found. Oof. Alright, well that's just a threat here. Although, we are now a land closer. Ooh, this is an interesting decision here. So, can play Tithing Blade and get rid of that, which is always good. Or I could just play like Mephitic Draft and next turn use the treasure to ramp out Blacklazotz. I still think it's good to get rid of this thing while I can. The Larcenist is usually just like a problem, and it'll tack my life total down enough that it's probably gonna not be good for me. I do still have a guaranteed turn 5 Blacklazotz here, so And now I guarantee it no matter what. So let's do this. And this, and not get anything with Compass Gnome. I guess something I could have done is attacked with Freebooter, and if you blocked, use the treasure to cast this, but then I'm throwing away a potential chump block later and to prevent some damage here. Okay. I guess now is the time. Alright, just plan on chumping Gemguard with Freebooter here. Let's see if he's got Pacifism or... What would be really bad is Quicksand Whirlpool, because that does exile. Chart, of course, seems fine. Interesting with Fanatical Offering here, because... Okay, so he's definitely got Quicksand Whirlpool at this point, if this is what he's doing. So is there any way to play around that? Yeah, I guess Fanatical Offering is the way I play around that here. So we're just going to have to use that against the Whirlpool. And then we can flip it back next turn, more than likely here. Alright, got rid of a creature. Let's see what we find with Charter Course. A couple lands. I guess we'll play a 1/4. And he has guaranteed we can flip Blacklazotz back next turn. But we are at 12. So we're going to have to watch out a little bit. What else can I do? I can use the map. If I play an untapped land, I can activate Tithing Blade, but can craft in there. Yeah, that seems okay. Let's just do... So, auto pay with the treasure. Craft with the creature. And get in with the vigilance here. And now we're going to have to be on the chump Gemguard train. Oh, we just got revealed that he has Cosmium Blast in hand. So now he has another way to deal with Blacklazotz, unfortunately. Finding all the answers here. But we do have a map, so if we can guarantee if we can hit a non-land, we can play around Cosmium Blast. Although, he could just block with Guidewing and still Cosmium Blast, so not exactly. So we're going to trade Guidewing and Cosmium Blast for Blacklazotz here. Is that worth it? Probably, because then we can still flip it back next turn. Okay, so here comes the blast. No? Okay, it wasn't Cosmium Blast then. I could have sworn it was. Okay, don't know what that is then. Cloud Guard, okay. One, two, three, four, five. There we go. And this might do it for us here. We've turned the corner with Blacklazotz, and he has done his worst for sure. So they did not have Cosmium Blast. Interesting. I don't know why I thought he did. Alright, Master's Guide Mural won't save him here. I do not believe. We're going to put him to 4. And there we go. Blue Blacklazotz looks to have made the championship of this best deck tournament here. And there we go. So blue-white artifacts, the other blue-white deck that won in the other semifinals, will be taking on blue Blacklazotz in the championship with the updated bracket on your screen now. You can see how everything has progressed if you've just found this video and want to go back and watch previous videos of the tournament. But we do have our championship match set. Will be blue-white artifacts against blue Blacklazotz. Gonna be a good one. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final installment of your daily draft tournament content.